Amber's really good at doing analogies, and if you're like masterful at analogies, you score way higher on the. So I sorry, I was just nerding out at that. I was like,
Good to
man,
know. Good to know.
you're good at that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I like how you're able to reframe like I think what you do best at. I mean, you're good at a lot of different things, but I like if it's because I now it's coming back to me. I'm like, oh yeah, she was always really good at like helping me reframe like this thing that I thought was like a negative thing or what whether it's coming from survival, but then able to see like the gold in it. So can you
Hmm.
walk us through how you were able to reframe the imposter syndrome? As most people would say that's a bad thing. It's like, oh, I feel very
Hmm.
uncomfortable, I feel out of place. And but you were able to say like, oh, it's I'm in my sweet spot. Like
Hmm.
that takes a while to get to that stage. So I'm
Oh
curious
yeah.
the framework.
It took years, I think. I mean, so the kind of like my path that I've been on is around 2014 is when I was working for that startup and felt like a complete fraud and just felt resigned of like, I guess I'm just not a confident person. I guess I'll just never be that kind of a person.
Hmm.
And then 2018 is when I went to coach school and I learned tools that what you think is creating your feelings. It's not your outside circumstance that's creating your feelings. It's not the fact that you work at a startup and people around you have Ivy League degrees that's creating your
Hmm.
feeling of imposter syndrome. It's your thought, like the meaning that you assign to that
Hmm.
of like, I'm not good enough, that's causing the feeling of feeling like a fraud. And so once I learned that it wasn't actually the outside circumstance, it was my thoughts. I was like, wait, I could
Hmm.
just change my thoughts and feel however I want. And I do feel like I went hard on that. And I then later learned like in 80% of the cases, I think it works. But if there's any trauma
Hmm.
involved or any like
Uh,
limiting beliefs from the past, like it's not as easy as it sounds, which
hmm.
is fine. And you can go find a qualified therapist who can help you through that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, once I learned that it was just your thoughts, I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of cool.